Welcome back to the channel, boys. We're gonna get straight to it. In this video here, we got a very special delivery. I should have done this many years ago, but here we go. And it is for this car right here, my one and only Old Faithful car that's been running 800 plus horsepower on the stock short block. And yeah, this is a very much deserved upgrade. So as you guys can see here, got a little roll cage, got to open that baby up. Got some carbon fiber in here. Recently did some other carbon fiber on the center console, you know, right there next to the shifter. Very hot Texas summer heat, as you guys can see. I'm already soaked, but carbon fiber everywhere. Now the only thing is that this here is an eyesore, so it's time to change things up and really finish off the interior of this car. So let me show you guys what I got. Ta-da! There we go. This envelope here, we'll get to it later on in the video. This is also another upgrade, and this is the star of the video. A beautiful custom-made carbon fiber steering wheel with the red center line. As you guys can see, this is just a skeleton, so we gotta take the old steering wheel off and basically swap everything over. So before we take this off, I gotta do something because I don't want to risk the airbag blowing off on my face. So we have to disconnect both sides of the battery just for safe, just to be extra safe. And yeah, wait a few minutes. I think it's like 30 minutes that you should wait, and you should be good to go. So once that is done, we start removing it. All right, boys, so as you guys can see, everything's out of the car. Steering wheel's out, cluster's out. I didn't record any of it because I just had the worst mother time getting that out of the car. I tried to do it the old-fashioned way, you know, just kind of manhandling it. Would not come out. I tried different pullers that I had laying around. That didn't work. I eventually gave up. I went to Harbor Freight. I bought one of these wheel puller sets. Didn't work. So what ended up happening is these are the two bolts that you're supposed to use here. The threads on this one literally pulled out. So I was like, man, what the hell am I gonna do now? So I ended up getting this bolt here, getting this flat washer. I drilled a hole here, and basically I had to modify the washer too just to make it fit. I put it under here, put the bolt through it so that way it could lock on to the puller. And then when I started pulling out, this thing bent, and then this broke. I don't know if you guys can see, but the actual casting on the steering wheel broke. So that one screwed up, that one screwed up. Couldn't do anything here because this damn bolt bent. So I was very frustrated. As you guys can tell, I had a hammer. That did nothing. Screw that steering wheel. So what I ended up doing was going back to the old-fashioned way, and I literally put every ounce of strength that I had. I started pulling. I felt a little bit of a, I was about to black out, you guys. That's how hard I was pulling on that shit. I was about to black out, and then I felt a little bit of give. Kept pulling, moved out a little bit, and then, like, I guess just with the frustration and the anger that I had, I hit the damn steering wheel and it hit me straight in the face. I went ahead and transferred over everything to the carbon fiber one. Basically, you got to transfer over the little plastics here, the buttons, and then the things here for your horn. But it's ready to go back in. Install is easy. Just put the steering wheel in there, put the nut, put your airbag, 2 bolts on each side. The only thing is I still have to do these cluster, which is fairly easy. I'll show you guys how to do that here in a bit. What's up, boy? Oh look, this is part of the casting of the steering wheel that I broke off. I was wondering where that fell. Okay, doesn't require it to be that tight. Once you get your airbag bolted in, it's just again to one bolt on each side. You put these little covers back in here, and that's that. So installing, very simple. As you guys can see, I did that just in a few minutes. Removing it, you might get lucky. I've removed this steering wheel before and it was never this hard. Hopefully you don't have to go through what I went through right now, but yeah, steering wheel's done. Now let's go to the cluster. So this is what we have here as far as the gauge cluster is concerned. This is your original 0304 Terminator cluster. The battery gauge is replaced with the boost gauge, but the problem is that it only reads up to 10 pounds, which is the reason why I had this on the column, because this read up to 30. So what I did, I ordered one of these Hilton boost overlays, which will read up to what, 25 pounds, which is probably the most that I'll ever throw on the car, because it would make well over 1,000 horsepower at this boost. The reason that I'm getting rid of this gauge, you guys, is because this is one of the Lunar series gauges. This is pretty much discontinued. You can't find it anywhere. I did try to find a replacement, however you can't find it anywhere. So what happened to this one is, I guess because the car was outside in this Texas summer heat for so many years, it probably burnt out the phase. So half of the gauge started illuminating, and then eventually it just got to where none of the gauge is turning on. So the light itself turns on, but I guess whatever they sprayed on the actual gauge to match the color of the 0304 Cobra gauges, it faded out, because it basically is like it glows like green, just exactly like the stock cluster. But since it doesn't work anymore, I figured get rid of it, clear out some wires over the car, and just reconnect it to the stock gauge and just put this overlay in it. So let me show you guys what you got to do. So what we got to do is remove all these little gold bolts here, so that way we can take the cover off. All right, that's all of the gold ones, and now we remove this cover here, which now that I have it off, I'm probably gonna throw some compressed air in here and just kind of clean that out. You guys can see it's got a lot of dust in there, so great time to clean this. So there we go. Now we got the face here, which is very dirty. Damn. All right, and I shouldn't be touching that because I'm gonna leave greasy marks on there. But what we got to do is I got to remove this needle, because there's a little stopper on the back that I have to cut off. So let me go get one of them plastic prying tools, pop this thing out. All right, so pop this thing out, and you know, just be careful, make sure you don't break anything. These plastic ones here with like a 90-degree curve is perfect. So this is the needle here, and you guys see the little point here? You got to break this off, because the needle is going to go from being here down to here. So let me go see what I can find to break this thing out, because I need to make it to where it's flush. All right, it was actually quite simple. I didn't use any like pliers or anything. I just got the razor blade and just pushed it all the way down, and it is completely flush. There's nothing sticking out, so it's not gonna hit anything when it's moving. So now we jump over to the difficult part, which is where we stick this thing over here and make sure that I line it up perfectly, because as you guys can see, this tiny little line turns the 0 into an 8, and yeah, you guys will see. All right, I went ahead and washed my hands as clean as I can get them, because this is supposed to be a clean job. Actually, I got that pretty damn good. Not bad, you guys. I'm happy with that. All right, so now this is where it gets interesting. So this is where the old gauge comes into play, and these vacuum hoses that you guys see, because now, you know, the gauge used to sit at 0 here, but now the gauge is going to be at 0 down here. We have to calibrate it, and that's where I have to connect this gauge with this gauge and then put some air through it, so that way I can use this as a reference and make sure that they're both reading the same. So let's see how this goes. I'll connect this one back here. I'm gonna connect this one over here, but I'm gonna have to put a zip tie because that's way too loose. So I got my little contraption here. So this gauge hooked up to this line wide off of this, so I'm just gonna use the compressed air, blow it in here, and make sure that they both read the same. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be removing this needle and putting it back on until it reads right. So let's see what it does. I think I got it on there pretty good, but let me just double check. Alright, so we're gonna try to get 10 pounds of boost. So that's 10 on the cluster, 10 on the gauge, 15 there. It's about the center on the cluster. Let's try to get 20 or 18. That's 18 on the gauge, 18 on the cluster. Let's go for 20. Yeah, that's it right there, you guys. Boys, and I bolted the cover back on, and we're gonna do one last test just to be extra sure, because I did have to press on the needle down just to reset it. So, all right, we got, let's do 18 on the gauge. Let's max it out. Yeah, that looks solid. Now, we gotta do is just put the vacuum line from the car in here. 2 plugs in the back, and we're good to go. All right, boys, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. So this is the next day. I was actually trying to edit the video last night. Yeah, apparently I lost some footage there towards the end of the day, and I didn't get anything of where I was putting the interior back together. So I'm on my lunch break, and I came out here just to record this because I'm really can't wait for you guys to see this. And not only that, that way the next video that I make with this car, it can be another POV video where I actually go and see how the car feels under power. But y'all ready for this? Oh man, I really wish I had this a long time ago. Damn, this feels amazing. It just gives the car a whole different feel to it. That old steering wheel was hurt. Damn, these damn mosquitoes. That old steering wheel was all beat up, man. It needed a lot of attention. This just feels good, man. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, you guys. I think this was probably one of, if not the best upgrades that I've done to this car in a long time, besides the transmission, obviously. But I think it looks so much cleaner, you know, without that gauge here. Now it's over here, and the steering wheel is just perfect, you guys. I'm so happy about this. But obviously on the next video with this car, we will be doing a POV. I got to do a transmission oil flush on it since I've already almost broken in the transmission and the clutch. So it's time to get some solid videos and, you know, see what this car feels like under power with the new 256. So catch you guys on the next one, okay? Later.